Okay, good morning. I think we'll just get right into it. My name is Nicholas Carey. I'm the co-founder and vice chairman of blockchain.com. I'm the co-author of something called The Future is Decentralized. And a few years back, I started an entrepreneurial organization called sky'sthelimit.org. And it serves underrepresented young adult entrepreneurs all over the world. And welcome anyone's participation to that project. Today, I'm here to talk about the future of money and give you a small update on what we've been working on over at blockchain.com, and then explore some of the macro changes in the crypto and global markets and some of the implications for those things. So if we can get the presentation up on the screens, that would be helpful. Okay, it's running on that one. Okay, thank you. So, future of money. At blockchain.com, we've been focused since 2011 on our mission, which is essentially to wrap the whole planet in software that makes it possible for all people to send, receive, secure, and exchange digital forms of value. Now, fast forward 7, 8 cryptocurrency. Last year, we had over 10 million people sign up when we gave away $125 million worth of Stellar to introduce new users to crypto. Today, over 25% of worldwide global Bitcoin traffic is originated from blockchain.com wallets, and we have active users in over 140 countries. Spain is actually one of our top European markets, and I'm really excited to be here today to share with you some exciting things we've been working on. So wallets look like this. They're very similar to things you've probably interacted with before. Important. Cryptocurrency wallets allow you to have control and custody over your financial sovereignty, and this is a really big deal. If we zoom out and look at the macro portrait of the economy today, we have a trade war going on between two of the largest countries. There's probably an impending recession originating potentially in Germany. You have Brexit that's looming. You have other countries where there's been a colossal collapse of confidence in currencies. And most of the major financial institutions are predicting a worldwide recession over the next 12 months. So in this context and in that climate, what kind of tools and what kind of financial assets do you think you're going to need to have exposure to protect your wealth? And our argument is anti-fragile assets and things like cryptocurrencies present a really interesting and unique alternative for anyone's investment portfolio. But that's just one use case for these things. Millions of people rely on cryptocurrency every single day to do basic things like settle payments and send payments back and forth across borders. It's instant, it's almost free, and anyone can use it. All year long, we have been working on a special and secret project that I'm excited to share with you today. It's been really hard for a lot of people to get their first crypto, and when they go to exchanges, those exchanges are slow, they're cumbersome, and they aren't necessarily built by world-class teams. Well, we have been working in secret on a project we call The Pit. The Pit is an homage to the old trading venues that our grandparents used to use, going around, running around with pieces of paper. But we can build something better, and led by the chief architect of the New York Stock Exchange, we've built the world's fastest matching algorithm in the history of time. This is what it looks like. It's a trading venue for anybody. You can sign up in under 90 seconds and begin to start trading cryptocurrency, and we'd love to have you guys test it out. We have launching new cryptocurrency pairs every single week, and we'll be adding more assets throughout the rest of the year. Now, we filmed a small commercial with someone that knows a lot about the future, and I wanted to show that, and then next I'll move on to broader updates around the industry, but I thought this would be kind of fun to share with you guys. So introducing our commercial we filmed with William Shatner, famous for his time in Star Trek, and if someone knew something about the future of money, we thought he might be able to help us out.
Hope this works. Yeah. Everybody, down! Hands up! Put the bag in the money. Put the money in the bag.
Trying to secure your financial future with plain old money, huh?
Just put the money in the bag, will you, please?
Sure. It's just that if you really want to grow your portfolio, you should probably be trading crypto in the pit.
What's she talking about? What's the pit?
We tried trading crypto, but our exchange was so slow.
Yeah, not to mention how often we got locked out of our account.
You should try trading in the Pit. It's a brand new crypto exchange powered by blockchain.com. It's actually really fast and reliable.
Damn it, why didn't we think of that, Bill?
You idiot, you used my real name.
Bill from spin class? I thought that was you.
I was there once. Get up now.
cryptocurrency, actually, and has invested himself in a bunch of different companies and projects. And he's pretty fun to follow on Twitter as well. So anyway, I want to spend some time now talking more about the broader changes in the economy and some things I think we should all be thinking a little bit more about. We are facing some really big challenges in the world today, everything from climate change to income inequality, to environmental challenges and much more. I'm going to spend a little time visiting about those things because I think the intersection of those challenges and technology is one of the things I'm most passionate about. Income inequality is incredibly problematic. There is no real natural order that we experience in the world today that has the level of inequality that money does. If you think about it, imagine if there was a cheetah on the Serengeti that could run 100,000 times faster than all of the other prey in the fields. Well, that really wouldn't work, and the natural system would correct for it. But we have created capital and given it properties that do exactly that. Capital gets more capital, and the income gap grows, and income rather devastating to the economies of the world. So we really need to think about this carefully. Climate change is huge, and it's not being addressed carefully enough, and this is an obvious one, and I'll bring forward examples of how technology will be addressing these things in a moment. Some really big issues there. This should concern everybody in the room. The future of work. We hear a lot about how AI and machine learning and artificial intelligence and these things may consume jobs. And it's quite likely that the future of work will look very different 10 years from now than it does today. This is one of the things I'm really passionate about thinking on and why I started skysthelimit.org. So many big companies and so many big institutions are focused on how do we increase workforce engagement and upskill people. But really, we should maybe be thinking a little bit more about is how do we help people become creative and become entrepreneurs? It's entrepreneurs that build the businesses that create the jobs of the future. And these big challenges that you just saw are only going to be addressed through entrepreneurial and creative innovation. And so if we think about that and step back, how do we inspire the next generation of young adults to have the confidence and the toolkits and the skills to go address the problems of the future? And there's some interesting things that are being done there. So most economists agree something at scale, like an engine or a car. The third was the computer and information and automation age, the PC revolution as we know it today. Coined by World Economic Forum Dr. Klaus, we're now potentially in the fourth industrial revolution. And this is where cyber and physical systems start to integrate with each other. And the network design that allows this to occur is all being innovated and developed on as we speak. So what does this sort of look like? If you consider the incredible changes we've already seen in just 50 years, just let these sink in. In the last century, it was only possible for a few people to own televisions at first. They were very, very expensive, and there were only 2 channels. Now, anyone can download an application and instantly have the entire history of all performance arts, all music, and all books ever made instantly delivered to a screen in front of you almost for free. That's pretty amazing. Cars, gas-guzzling, dangerous vehicles, again, only afforded to the few, used to look like that. Now an entry-level car, fully electric and almost entirely autonomous, can drive you anywhere instantly, and that is the progress we've made in just 60 years. Music, again, all music that's ever been made forever is now accessible in the palm of your hand, and I think these type of web-scale technologies are so fascinating to think about. The last sort of real area that I don't think technology has really shaped enough yet is really in money. And if you think about it, human beings have tried all different types of currencies, right? We used to trade things when we lived in caves. We've tried pearls and seashells. There are giant boulders in the Southeast Oceans that were used on some of the islands there as a form of currency. And then we tried paper money. Now, it's possible for computer systems to create digital scarcity, and this was the core innovation that was pioneered by the Bitcoin network about a decade ago. But if you can give your money properties that make it more useful than pieces of paper, then it's quite likely that that money will become adopted. And that's what we're seeing happen in the financial services space. So, human beings used to live in caves. We invented wheels. We paved roads. We've optimized all of our experiences. And it's time for our money to get a little more optimized and a little smarter, too. So how's that going to happen? Well, one of the things that's necessary are changes in network design. So 20, 30 years ago, all networks were closed and centralized. You had a master and commander system, and you had big mainframes built by IBM and companies like that, and selling into large institutions. Now, we are in the time of the cloud, and all of the devices are able to talk to each other instantly. And so what you're seeing are all of the endpoints in the network actually being able to negotiate with each other. And once you have that, you can basically not only have peer-to-peer payments between individuals, but you'll have peer-to-peer transactions of valuable information between devices and all the things that are connected in our lives. And so this is the natural design of the networks as things get more and more digital. So what does this mean on the big macro challenges? Well, for one, it means there will be new endpoints in the economy. We can bring billions of people into the economic influence of the internet. And this is non-trivial. It means that people that have grown up in frontier and emerging markets with no access to capital, who now have access to data and phones, are able to start to participate in the economy. This is really exciting. Arguably, we've now made it possible to invent a better form of money. For the age of the internet, what kind of money would you want to have? Gold is pretty impractical. Paper notes don't really work. I can't send a package of them from here to New York very conveniently. In fact, it's actually faster for me to probably send this podium from here in Madrid to New York than it is for me to wire funds from here to New York. So if you wanted to invent a better form of money for the age of the internet, I'd argue you'd want your money to be fungible. So one piece would need to look like another. It would need to be digital so that it could beam anywhere in the world as instantly and quickly as a text message. You might want your money to have certain properties, like it being programmable. So I could give my money instructions based on certain conditions, something we're really used to in the computer science world. And then arguably, you might want to try different forms of economics. How much currency is there going to be? How does it come into circulation? And you can modify these parameters and let the market decide which currency is best. And in the cryptocurrency markets, there are many experiments running with different currencies, and all of them are competing for people's trust. This is how much cash it takes in Venezuela to buy one chicken today. And if you think the design of Venezuelan currency is any different fundamentally from the design of euros or dollars, you may be deceiving yourself. It is designed on the exact same principles, run by a central bank, where a bunch of people get in a room and decide what the interest rates are and how the lending works to some other institutions, and it's all based on faith. Financial inclusion is a topic I'm particularly interested in. How do we make it easier for people to have access to better forms of money? And again, I argue that over time, as we put more and more devices in people's pockets and phones around the world, it's possible for anyone to download an application instantly for free and immediately have access to better tools than even the most privileged people in the Western world. Insurance is an interesting topic, which I really won't have too much time to go into today. But again, this comes back to having programmable money. If we have programmable money, we can give that money instructions. So imagine creating an insurance contract. We all put some money into it. And if there's a flood in our neighborhood, the contract is looking at conditions, and it sees that there's been a flood, and it immediately pays out all of the people that are in the contract. Music and art, this is an obvious one to me. If I was a musician today, I would really be interested in tokenizing my future catalog of all of my content. And then the people that want to listen to my content would need to have some of my tokens in order to do that, creating network effect value for you as a person or as an individual artist. There are major problems around the incentives between the major record labels and the artists today. And blockchain technology is fascinatingly attacking this problem. Imogen Heap, a Grammy Award-winning artist, is working on a project specifically looking at tokenizing music catalogs for artists, and I think that's pretty interesting. So in summary, there are 5 major trends that are impacting the cryptocurrency market today. And for those of you that haven't been paying attention, Facebook has come in and announced that they are working on their own version of a cryptocurrency. So if you needed any further validation that the technology is real, the largest social media platform and most visited website in the world in terms of time spent is launching a crypto asset. And so the debate about whether or not these things are going to happen is sort of over. The question now is how fast are they going to get adopted? So institutional financial infrastructure is coming online. Bakkt, which is owned by ICE, has launched, which is a futures market for cryptocurrencies. Fidelity in the United States has launched. Our lending desk has lent out over $100 million worth of crypto, and we have a venture fund that's investing in emerging projects. Stablecoins are a huge deal. This is what Facebook's building. A stablecoin marries the properties of cryptocurrency with stable fiat assets. So there you're only exposed to the volatility of the underlying asset, like a US dollar or a euro. Decentralized finance is kind of like the most intense thing that's probably happening right now. So these are like applications that are running around the internet that no one actually controls. Pretty interesting stuff, pretty futuristic. And I guess the last thing I'd point out is that the fundamentals of all of the transactions that we can see on chain are very strong, which means that there are more transactions happening right now than at any point in the history of cryptocurrency. And the total hash power, which is the total securing computational security on the network, is at an all-time high. And all these things can be found over at blockchain.com. We publish these stats for everyone to see. And the last thing that's probably kind of relevant is that venture-backed digital assets are coming online, and where you have strong alignment of incentives and projects. This is sort of a huge competitive threat, I think, to some of the other cryptocurrencies out there. So these are the 5 things I think that are driving enormous amounts of investment in the industry today, and things to keep an eye on. So anyway, the future is bright on these topics. Financial inclusion is a reality, and solving some of the biggest challenges of the world is possible when we marry the right people and the minds and the technology together. So thank you very much. I'm sorry we ran out of time today, but I appreciate everyone's attention.